Here's a chronological timeline of major CIA and U.S. government biological and chemical experiments, highlighting the agents used, locations, and impact. 1940s, 1950s. Early Cold War biological warfare testing 1950s. Army Biological Warfare Program. What? Various pathogens including Bacillus subtilis and Serratia marcescens. Where? U.S. cities like San Francisco, New York, and Washington, D.C. Impact: unwitting civilian exposure, at least one death linked to Serratia marcescens. Purpose: study dispersal of bacteria in urban environments. 1952-1953. Zinc cadmium sulfide aerosol tests what? Non-toxic fluorescent tracer particles. Where? St. Louis and Minneapolis public areas. Impact: monitored spread of aerosols in populated areas. Civilians unaware they were part of tests. 1950s, 1970s. MK Ultra and chemical mind control experiments 1964. MK Ultra program. What? Psychoactive substances, LSD, mescaline, chemical irritants, and experimental drugs. Where? CIA safe houses, hospitals, and universities across the US and Canada. Impact: non-consenting subjects suffered long-term psychological harm, some permanent. Goal: mind control and interrogation techniques. 1950s, 1960s, Operation White Coat what? Tularemia, Q fever, and other pathogens. Where? Fort Detrick, Maryland. Impact: conducted on consenting conscientious objectors. While technically voluntary, participants faced serious health risks. 1960s, 1970s, covert population exposure. 1966, San Francisco Serratia marcescens release. What bacteria sprayed from towers to track infection spread? Where? San Francisco Bay Area. Impact: hospitalized patients and at least one death. Raised ethical concerns about human experimentation. 1960s, 1970s, New York City subway and Washington, D.C. Aerosol tests what? Bacillus globigii, Serratia marcescens, and zinc cadmium sulfide. Where? Public transportation systems and populated districts. Impact: civilians exposed unknowingly. Data used to study vulnerability to biological attacks. 1970s, 1980s. Chemical weapon and nerve agent experiments 1970s. Army and CIA chemical testing what? Mustard gas, nerve agents like sarin and VX. Where? Dugway Proving Ground, Utah. Various military bases. Impact: soldiers and test subjects suffered chronic illnesses. Some long-term neurological damage documented. Late 1970s. LSD and psychoactive drug field tests what? LSD and other hallucinogens. Where? Airports, hotels, and urban areas in U.S. cities. Impact: aim was to explore incapacitation effects on civilians. Tests were secret and non-consenting. Post 9/11 era. Advanced biochemical experimentation 2000s, enhanced interrogation and chemical agents. What? Use of chemical irritants. Tear gas, stress positions, and experimental sedatives in black sites. Where? CIA black sites worldwide. Impact: psychological and physical trauma. Blurred lines between medical experimentation and coercion. Summary of patterns. 1. Unconsenting civilians were repeatedly used to study dispersal and effects of bacteria and chemicals. 2. Military personnel were often exposed under the guise of training or defense testing. 3. Long-term consequences included illness, death, and psychological trauma. 4. Ethical violations led to public outcry, lawsuits, and reforms like stricter rules on human experimentation.